Ischemic heart disease. It is ischemia of myocardium due to oxygen demand supply mismatch. Pathophysiology. It is basically due to increased demand of myocardium or decreased supply to the myocardium. Factors that influences myocardial oxygen demand and supply are listed in the table given below. Oxygen demand increases with increased cardiac work, which happens with increased heart rate, increased BP, myocardial contractility, left ventricular hypertrophy, and aortic stenosis. Oxygen supply decreases with decreased coronary blood flow, which happens with small duration of diastole, low coronary perfusion pressure, altered coronary vasomotor tone, and low oxygenation. Risk factors, modifiable ones and non-modifiable. Obesity, tobacco, lack of exercise, hypertension, diabetes, and dyslipidemia are modifiable. Non-modifiable risk factors are age, sex, and hereditary. Usually, males are affected earlier and more than females. Males greater than 45 years and females greater than 55 years are risk factors for ischemic heart disease. Causes include coronary and non-coronary. Among coronary, atherosclerosis and non-atherosclerotic. Atherosclerosis is the most common cause of ischemic heart disease. Non-atherosclerotic causes include vasculitis, spasm, embolus, hypercoagulative state. Non-coronary causes include aortic stenosis, hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, tachyarrhythmias, severe anemia, and severe hypotension. Classification. Ischemic heart disease is classified into asymptomatic and symptomatic. Symptomatic one being stable angina and acute coronary syndrome, which includes unstable angina, non-ST elevation MI, and ST elevation MI. Manifestations of ischemic heart disease. Ischemic heart disease can present in the form of stable angina, unstable angina, myocardial infarction, heart failure, arrhythmia, and sudden death. Stable angina pectoris. It is defined as substernal chest pain due to myocardial ischemia, either due to increased demand or decreased supply, in a patient with atheromatous coronary artery disease. Causes is atherosclerosis. Factors and activities that precipitate angina are physical exertion, cold exposure, heavy meals, and intense emotion, sometimes lying flat, also known as decubitus angina. Pathophysiology. There is always a balance between myocardial oxygen demand and supply. If demand increases, supply also increases and vice versa. But in this condition, there is a fixed obstruction in coronary artery due to atheromatous plaque. So the supply becomes constant whatever the demand is. Anything that causes increased demand or further decreases supply causes an imbalance of oxygen supply, which causes ischemic pain. Clinical presentation. Patient presents with substernal squeezing, pressure-like chest pain with exertion, usually relieved with rest within 5 to 15 minutes. The pain usually radiates to jaw, neck, arm, and shoulder. It is relieved with sublingual nitroglycerin within a few minutes. Typically, patient with stable angina will have pain after a predictable amount of exertion and will have identical symptoms with each attack. A typical symptoms other than chest pain like weakness and dyspnea may occur in elderly and diabetics, also known as angina equivalents or silent angina. When you ask the patient, where is the pain? He cannot localize the pain with a finger. Rather, puts his fist on the sternum to describe the location of pain. This is called Levine sign. Examination is usually normal in stable angina. Diagnosis. Best initial test in stable angina is ECG, which is usually normal during absence of angina. During episode of angina, ECG may show ST depression and T-wave inversion, which are signs of ischemia. Whatever the result of ECG, a symptomatic patient undergoes a stress test, which can be either exercise-induced or drug-induced. During the stress test, either ECG is done to look for signs of ischemia or echo is done to look for abnormal wall movement. Cardiac markers are negative in stable angina. During a stress test, a positive test is when ECG shows ST depression greater than 2 mm or there is a drop of systolic BP greater than 10 mm of mercury. Exercise stress test is more accurate when a target heart rate is reached. Target heart rate is equal to 85% of maximum predicted heart rate, whereas maximum predicted heart rate is 220 minus patient's age. The earlier the positive test in a stress test, more severe is the disease. This is the ECG of a patient who is an exercise stress test and it shows ST depression in lead V4 and V5. Contraindications of exercise stress test: aortic dissection, acute MI, unstable angina, severe congestive heart failure, uncontrolled sustained ventricular arrhythmias, symptomatic supraventricular arrhythmia, significant aortic stenosis, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, severe uncontrolled hypertension. Other stress tests include dobutamine or dipyridamole stress test. Dipyridamole shows coronary steal phenomenon. Normally, the diseased coronary vessel is fully dilated. When dipyridamole is given, all the coronary vessels dilate, including the normal one. So, blood shifts more towards the normal vessel, leading to ischemia of the diseased vessel. Other tests are nuclear stress test, stress echo. Remember, a day before stress test, beta blockers, calcium channel blockers and nitrates should be stopped. Invasive test. It includes angiography. It is indicated in patients with chronic stable angina who are severely symptomatic despite medical therapy and are being considered for percutaneous intervention or coronary artery bypass graft surgery. Patients with troublesome symptoms that present diagnostic difficulties in whom there is a need to confirm or rule out the diagnosis of ischemic heart disease. Patients with known or possible angina pectoris who have survived cardiac arrest. Patients with angina or evidence of ischemia and non-invasive testing. Patients judged to be at high risk of sustaining coronary events based on signs of severe ischemia on non-invasive testing, regardless of presence or severity of symptoms. Patients with chest discomfort suggestive of angina pectoris but a negative or non-diagnostic stress test who require a definitive diagnosis. Differential diagnosis. It includes acute coronary syndrome in which there occurs pain at rest. Duration is longer and pain is not relieved by nitroglycerin. ECG and cardiac markers are usually abnormal and angiography shows nearly complete occlusion. Prinzmetal angina. It occurs due to vasospasm of coronary artery, usually associated with ST elevation. It responds to calcium channel blocker and nitroglycerin. Beta blockers are contraindicated. Prinzmetal angina is associated with cocaine abusers. Pericarditis. There is usually a history of preceding viral infection. Patient presents with fever, sharp pleuritic pain, which is positional, and it relieves with leaning forward and increases on lying down. On examination, there is pericardial rub. On ECG, there is diffuse ST elevation and PR depression. Cardiac markers are normal. Myocarditis. There is also a history of preceding viral infection. Patient presents mild vague pain. Cardiac markers are elevated and ECG shows some conduction abnormalities. Aortic dissection. Patient presents with tearing pain radiating to back. There may be differential BP in the arms with a difference greater than 20 mm of mercury. Peripheral pulses may be weak. There may be a new onset murmur, mostly aortic regurgitation. X-ray shows wide mediastinum. And the diagnosis can be confirmed by echocardiography or CT or MRI. Syndrome X. It is associated with metabolic syndrome, which includes obesity, insulin resistance, dyslipidemia, and hypertension. In syndrome X, there is microvascular disease, so angiography reveals no obstruction, but there are signs of angina. Pulmonary causes include pulmonary embolism. Patient presents with acute onset of pain and dyspnea. Usually there is tachycardia and hypotension. X-ray shows Westermarck sign and Hampton sound. ECG shows right ventricular strain with S wave in lead 1, Q wave in lead 3 and T wave inversion in lead 3. CT angiography confirms the diagnosis. Pulmonary hypertension. Patient usually presents with exertional dyspnea and chest pain. On examination, P2 is loud and there are signs of right heart failure. Pleuritis and pneumonia. Patient presents with fever, cough. On examination, there is bronchial breath sound and decreased breath sound. X-ray shows infiltrate and consolidation. Pneumothorax. Patient presents with sudden onset pain and dyspnea. There is unilateral absent breath sound and on percussion, hyporesonant sound is listened. X-ray confirms the diagnosis. GI causes include gastroesophageal reflux disease and esophageal spasm. GERD presents with burning pain, regurgitation, dry cough and hoarseness. It is usually exacerbated by calcium channel blockers and nitrates and relieved by proton pump inhibitors. A 24-hour pH confirms the diagnosis. Esophageal spasm. Patient presents with substernal squeezing pain, usually relieved by nitroglycerin, which is similar to angina, but usually ECG are normal and cardiac markers are normal. Manometry confirms the diagnosis. Musculoskeletal causes include costochondritis, which is also known as Treitz syndrome. Patient usually have tenderness and signs of inflammation on examination. The other cause is lung cancer, in which patient presents with cough, hemoptysis, hoarseness, weight loss. A CT gives a clue to the diagnosis. Treatment includes medical and interventional. Medical treatment are aspirin, statins, beta blockers, and long-acting nitrates, along with lifestyle modification and management of risk factors. Intervention are percutaneous intervention and coronary artery bypass graft surgery. It is done when there is failure of medical therapy or there is high-risk severe disease. Remember ABCDE in the treatment of stable angina, where A for aspirin and anti-anginals, B for beta blockers and blood pressure management, C for cholesterol and cigarette lowering, D for diet and diabetes, E for education and exercise. Lipid goals in the treatment of stable angina is LDL less than 100 mg per deciliter, SDL greater than equal to 40 mg per deciliter, and triglycerides less than 150 mg per deciliter. Remember that aspirin, beta blockers, statins, and coronary artery bypass graft surgery decreases the risk of mortality and angina. Other treatment does not decrease the risk of mortality. Now the basic advices to the patient with stable angina. Do not smoke. Aim for ideal body weight. Take regular exercise but not beyond the point of chest discomfort. Avoid severe exertion, especially after a heavy meal or a very cold weather. Take sublingual nitrate before undertaking exertion that may induce angina. Indications of coronary artery bypass graft surgery: triple vessel disease, left main disease, two vessel disease with diabetes mellitus, and failure of PCI and other medical therapy. Indications of percutaneous intervention. The most common indication of percutaneous intervention is acute coronary syndrome, but it is done in stable angina when medical therapy fails or patient has high risk disease as evidenced on stress test or angiography. This flowchart shows the basic treatment plan of ischemic heart disease. At first, medical therapy is necessary with lifestyle modification. But if the symptoms persist and there is high risk, then patient undergoes coronary angiography and PCI or CABG. High risk factors in stable angina: post-infarct angina, poor effort tolerance, ischemia at low workload as evidenced on exercise stress test, left main or three vessel disease, poor left ventricular function, especially ejection fraction less than 40%, and also diabetes mellitus. This diagram shows coronary angiography and stenting. This is a diagram of coronary artery bypass graft surgery in which two grafts, internal mammary artery and saphenous vein, are used.